Y'all, Shonda is about to ride me raggedy. She has me in these Georgia streets from sun up to sundown.
Get over it.
Friends of the twins, y'all, hey, welcome back.
Hey, y'all, hey.
In today's video, we are actually going to be thrifting. We are heading to the Goodwill. We're going to share with y'all what we see. And I am going to be sharing with you the styling of my item. I kind of have, we were there yesterday and we're kind of doubling back. Y'all know we do that sometimes. We'll see something.
Y'all know we got to double back to pick up something that she didn't get.
But you told me there was something that you saw that you wanted too and didn't get. So that's what we're doing. So this will be like a thrift flip or styling of my. I'm going to be sharing with you how I actually style what I pick up from the thrift store. Fingers crossed that what we're going back for is still going to be there. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on Shonda riding me raggedy in these Georgia streets. Y'all, she has been resigned and at home for how long? 3 weeks?
No. A month and 2 weeks.
Okay, a month and 2 weeks. And of course, she needed to take time to spend with her kids who were in from out of the country on the day after she resigned. So they were here for 2 weeks. And then she needs a month. She needed a month just to rest and relax. Mm-hmm. Y'all know she's having problems with her shoulder, which played a huge part in her going ahead and resigning from her management job. It was wearing her down, literally and physically.
Mm-hmm.
It was wearing her down. Her shoulder is, how your shoulder feeling better? Can you tell a difference?
I can tell a difference. It's slowly inching along towards feeling better.
For those of you that may have missed the announcement, she has a condition called frozen shoulder. What is the medical terminology?
It's very common. It's called adhesive capsulitis. And I thought that it would, it's something that only affected menopausal ladies, but it's not. It can happen to anybody of any age, and it's primarily in women. In men, they call it, it's very similar to rotator cuff injuries.
But it's been very painful for her, and it has given her limited range of motion and mobility on that right side.
It's like a dull ache.
Constant. Does anything relieve it?
Yeah, it when you stretch it, it relieves it.
You gonna buy me something?
Only so
you gonna buy me something?
Far.
Are you gonna buy me something to eat? I'm hungry.
I've been going to therapy, so the exercises that they taught me have made a difference. That's good. So hey,
you gonna buy me something to eat?
It's part of growing. It's my growing.
She act like she don't hear me.
Not only do I have to drive, I have to listen to her shenanigans and then feed her along the way.
I feed you too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but she looks better. She looks rested. So, I'm glad that she's taken, we just passed the food place.
What you didn't say what you wanted. What do you want?
She's showing out now. She's showing out. I'm glad that she's gotten some rest.
I don't think we're in the camera.
You are in the camera.
You're not.
Shonda forgot to put the phone holder in the car, so your girl is having to hold the camera.
Well, hold it right. Extend. It's called extend.
If I keep sitting up here holding this camera like this, I'm going to have the same shoulder problem you have.
Well, it's okay. We're twins. You can get it too.
Is anybody thinking about fall? Yep, y'all, we have been thinking about fall. I tell you, what put me in a fall frame of mind is this last walkthrough that we shared at Burlington about 3 days ago, the things that I was seeing definitely gave me fall vibes. They had what I would consider to be pretty fall pillows out, and they had pretty fall throws. There was one in particular that was so cute. It was for kids, and it was who was it? I cannot remember the name of the cartoon character, but anyway, it was the stuffed animal, and the stuffed animal was holding the throw, and that definitely gave me fall vibes. So yeah, Burlington put me in a fall frame of mind. There were other little touches and things, but even yesterday when we visited the Goodwill that we are doubling back to now, y'all, we saw all kinds of fall and Halloween
and Christmas
decor items. So yeah, it's July. We haven't even ventured over to Hobby Lobby to see what's going on in there.
I'm sure Hobby Lobby has fall items.
Oh, it's definitely fall and half of Christmas, I'm sure. Which is kind of good, y'all, because this year I think that I'm going to be changing my Christmas colors. I've been thinking about it for a while now, probably about since last year.
What color are you changing?
You know, I'm not really sure, but the colors that I have now is not the traditional red. It's more of the crimson red, and I've had that for years. You know how it is. You build on a collection in a color, and it can be costly. Y'all know that, to change out your colors. And then, like, I do have some Santas. I like the rather large Santas. I have one that I know is about 3 feet tall.
Yep.
I have a couple of others. I have the Mr. and Mrs. They're all wearing this pretty, the crimson red is pretty, but now I want to change it. So I'm just giving it some thought, you know, because the colors that I changed to are not going to be accent colors to the crimson. So I won't be able to use those things. I don't know, maybe I can get my mama to sew me some new clothes for my Santas. I could do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, she can do it. If there's a way to remove the clothes from the Santas that I have, she can use those as like the pattern. Yeah. I might do something like that. Because the Santas that I have, you know, they're African American, which could be hard to come by sometimes, and I do love them, you know, so I don't know, just gonna try to get creative. But yeah, this will be the time. I actually plan on starting to try to gather up my new Christmas colors. I actually plan to start this month because I know they're out at Hobby Lobby, and then I can just kind of take my time. And by the time October rolls around, usually at Hobby Lobby, like, all that stuff is picked over and most of it is gone. So I do plan to start kind of early. And Shonda's in a fall frame of mind too.
Yeah, I'm ready to go ahead and get decorated for fall, and so that I'm not in a rush.
Yeah.
Get paid, little shorty, get paid. 100,000 in the safe, couple thousand in the drain.
Today we've kind of ventured out a little bit, and it's always good to do that, friends of the twins, whether it be you're visiting different Ross stores, Burlington Home Goods, Goodwills. That's because they are not all created equal. One thing that we've noticed even with the Goodwill is that the prices can vary significantly. Different, just say if it's a pair of shoes in one Goodwill, they might be $5.99. You go to another Goodwill, a different area, and they may start at $7.99, $9.99, $12.99. So that's one thing. Another thing is when we go into the Goodwill, there are 3 things that we are typically taking into consideration when a piece catches our eye. The first thing is sometimes they are, and more often than not, they are the more vintage looks. So the first thing I'll say is, how will this look if I paint it? A lot of times all it needs is a good coat of paint and it will totally update the piece. For example, the chest of drawers and drawers made of wood. Okay, the old school ones, the more elaborate they are with the trimmings and the wood, y'all, to me, the better they look once you paint them. You can take those old-timey wooden chest of drawers and drawers, sets of drawers that maybe your grandma had, your great grandma back in the day. Y'all remember how elaborate they were with the wood, especially on the cabinet fronts and all. And it looks totally outdated, but when you paint them, OMG, they are just outstanding. So that's the first thing. The next thing I look at when something catches my eye is, okay, I can use this, but do I need to expound on it a little bit? Do I need to flip it? Just say I find I find a shelf and I plan to probably paint it. Okay, and so what if I add, it has this little wrought iron shelving on it. What if I add a piece of glass to it? Or if I find a shelf and it only has 2 shelves, but I really need 3. What if I add, another shelf to it? Of course, y'all know I'm gonna have Sugar help me, so I'm just gonna have Boo Daddy help. But you get where I'm going with it. So totally flipping and revising the piece is another thing that we consider when something catches our eye. And finally, the third thing is the price, because if I just mentioned how the prices vary from Goodwill to Goodwill. If the price is too much, then to me it's not worth it to consider the other 2 factors, painting it or flipping and revising it, because honestly, by the time you put all that into it, in addition with the price that Goodwill is charging, you could probably, maybe buy it brand new. So those are just some of the things that we consider when we look at thrifting. And now I'm going to stop talking so much and just let you see the things that we saw when we visited the Goodwill this day. And like we mentioned before, they already had fall and Halloween items out, and we even saw Christmas items. I will be back a little bit later in the video, and I'm going to share with you what I bought from the thrift store and how I actually styled it here in my home. Here is our next thrift find, and I did not find this at the Goodwill. I actually found this at another thrift store that Shonda and I went to. May have been that same day, if not the next day. But this is a mug holder, and it is made of wrought iron, and it's heavy. I thought that it was so pretty. I definitely see it in a different color, and I went back and forth as to whether it should be black or should it be a lighter color. And I think what I want to do is I want to go with a lighter color. I've been using a lot of black, and I do want to bring in some lighter colors. So what I'm going to do is, when Joann's, that was near us, our local Joann's, when it went out of business, I found this. That was a great opportunity for me to kind of stock up on some spray paints, and I love to keep spray paint on hand, friends of the twins, because I'm always doing something. And so I found this in a French cream. That's the color, and we're going to give it a try. All right, we're going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back with the second coat. All right, now while that's drying, we're going to move on to the next thrift find. Some of you may remember these gorgeous bookends that I found at a different thrift store. These were not found at the Goodwill also. Now, these were a little bit pricey. When it comes to thrifting, for me, they were actually, I think I paid $36. If it wasn't $36, it was $32, but I really liked them, and I really wanted to add some bookends. These are the only bookends that I have, and I've been wanting me some. I love reading, so these were really practical, functional, and beautiful for me. So I was happy to find, these bookends. I was kind of picky about the ones that I wanted. It had to be some that I was really in love with. And I was in love with these from the moment that I saw them. I decided to go ahead and put them here in the living room. I thought that they would be pretty right here on this table, this cabinet, and I'm really enjoying it. The mug holder is now all nice and dry, so we're going to head on back into the kitchen. And friends of the twins, yep, indeed, you saw me paint it one color, and now I have gone with the black. The light color, that French cream, was too close to the color on the walls, and it kind of just faded. It didn't do anything, so I went ahead and painted it black. I often say here on the channel that when I am buying new decor pieces, I truly do buy those things that I really love. And I've told you before that it sometimes gets me into trouble because I can have decor pieces that are different styles. So here in the kitchen area, in this breakfast nook, I have a more of a moody kind of modern vibe, maybe a little bit traditional. But when I look at the mug tree, it is either more of a farmhouse or a rustic flair. So I painted it black, but if you'll notice up at the top, I did add in just a little bit of gold. That's just to try to glam it up just a little bit. And now I'm going to bring in this beautiful glass pitcher, and I found this summer while we were traveling. I believe we were in Texas, and I found it at a Buc-ee's. Y'all know Buc-ee's, the convenience store. The first thing that caught my eye about it is its unique feature in that it slants, and I also like the fact that the glass is thick, and I love the design of the glass. And to bring in a feel of summer, open, airy, I'm just gonna add me in some florals. I think I might have some baby's breath here, not baby's breath, some lamb's ear, and some roses. Friends of the Twins, remember when we said that we are already in a fall frame of mind? This definitely gives me fall vibes. I think it's the fact of the coffee mugs. And I have already had a thought that I wouldn't mind finding me a pretty little coffee sign to incorporate here. And what I would do is hang it in between the wrought iron. So it has to be the perfect size. I'm going to kind of be on the lookout. Or I even have thought to maybe make it myself, just using letters. I don't know. I do have a little bit of time to get it all together, but it's definitely giving me fall vibes and I'm enjoying it. I did bring down the gold paint a little more. I painted a little bit farther down the wrought iron. I just felt like you couldn't really see it, and I wanted the gold to kind of flow from top to bottom. And that's why I decided to go with the clear coffee mugs with the beautiful gold stems on them, because I have some cream and white mugs. I have leopard print, but these seem to work out best for me. It didn't make everything become too busy. The gold kind of accents it. The gold on the stems of the coffee mugs kind of accents it, but it does not overpower it in the fact that they have glass, and I really like that. The last thing that I want to share with y'all is a gorgeous serveware set that I shared with y'all in a haul. I picked this up at Home Goods and it was $29.99. They are heavy, and I also love the black handles on them. And I didn't really do a whole lot with them. I just sat them on the counter. I got me one of my pretty glass. It's really a candle holder. I just put them inside the candle holder with the glass so that I could see all of the details of them. And it worked out perfectly right here, since it is now covering up that outlet there. Friends of the Twins, make the life that you live a life that you love, because life is short. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.